Episode 106 of Pokémon Horizons just pulled a move that has the entire fanbase talking. What should have been a huge hype reveal has divided everyone, but did it actually fall flat, or was it as legendary as people were hoping for? Boy, do I have a lot to say. So in this video, let's review the episode. If you enjoy, then feel free to subscribe, it helps us get closer to our goal of 150k and it'd really mean a lot to me. And now let's dive into it. Basically, Roy and Uruto got into an argument because Uruto's room on the airship was super messy with rocks and gems everywhere, and Uruto seemed to take it really personally and he got quite upset, storming off to a nearby city. I just want to say quickly that I really like seeing little bickering moments like this between our heroes. It makes a lot of sense that all of the main characters who are so different as people would sometimes get on each other's nerves. That's realistic character writing and it fleshes them all out in a really effective way. Meanwhile, a boy called Ryu and his Grafaiai Pokemon are trying to sell their art on the street, and Ryu hears about the strong spheres and he thinks that if he used one he could power up his Grafaiai to make more and more art, but he admits that he has like no money so he can't go and buy one. What a relief. But I will say that seeing the strong spheres being used and spoken about so casually all around the Pokemon world, that feels so gross, dude. After all, they hurt Pokemon, so I hate how normalized they're becoming. It also makes me wonder what the heck all of the other champions and Elite Four members and gym leaders around the world are doing right now. How are none of them trying to stop the strong spheres? I know our boy Ash, for one, would never sit by and let the strong spheres happen. I hope he's out there trying to stop them too. Later on, Uruto and Ryu bump into each other and they begin arguing about berries that they both want to eat, but then when Grafaiai does a nice little painting of Sableye, they all begin to bond. It's incredibly clear just how much Ryu values and cherishes his Grafaiai and their art. He dreams of the whole world seeing Grafaiai's talent, and I have to admit it's nice and refreshing to see a new kind of trainer like this. Not one who dreams of being a champion or a gym leader or catching them all, not even one who's super focused on battling. Ryu is a trainer who wants to just make art with his Pokemon, and I really love that. So, Uruto and Sableye spend the rest of the day on a little journey with the boy. They're helping him collect more berries so Grafaiai can add more different colours to its art, and they're all bonding throughout the process more and more, which climaxes to the point that Uruto reveals that he has a Dusk Ball with a super mysterious powerful Pokemon inside, a Pokemon that he hopes will come out once he's proven his strength to it, and something about that has Ryu acting a little sus. I've got my eye on you, Ryu, don't pull anything funny, okay? The very next morning on the airship, Roy wakes up and is immediately worried and stressed out because he realizes that Uruto never returned, and then Roy realizes the reason that Uruto was probably so hurt by Roy arguing with him about his room being a mess is because all of those stones and gems in his room were keepsakes that Uruto collected throughout his journey. They weren't just trash like Roy assumed. So yeah, Roy is genuinely upset and nearly has tears in his eyes when he realizes that he might have actually hurt his friend, so he dashes off to try and find Uruto. I genuinely adored this scene, man. I know Roy and Uruto bicker all the time and they're kind of rivals too, but deep down they do have a genuine connection, a genuine friendship. After all, Uruto was there for Roy in the year after all of the trauma at Laqua, so in this moment we genuinely got to see that Roy really values Uruto. He's wholeheartedly upset that he might have hurt him, and I love seeing that side of Roy, man. I've been a little bit iffy with Roy's characterization since the time skip, but seeing this side of him and his friendship with Uruto, that makes me really happy and I think we needed to see it, you know? Meanwhile, Uruto wakes up and we see exactly why Ryu was acting so sus the night before, because who could have seen it coming? Ryu is gone, and so is Uruto's Dusk Ball. What a sneaky thief, bruh. Our boy Uruto is shocked and he immediately begins hunting him down. Meanwhile, the snake is at an Exceed building trying to sell them Uruto's Dusk Ball and the Pokemon inside it in exchange for a Strong Sphere. And those two Explorers members from before Indy and Rubella take the Dusk Ball. And I actually can't believe this, dude. I'm sure the episode is going to try and sugarcoat it and justify it by saying, oh, well, Ryu just really loves his Grafaiai. He was just willing to do anything it took to help his Grafaiai get stronger and make more art. I'm sure he'll realize the errors of his ways and try and make up for it and apologize for it. But no way, bro, I'm not letting this guy off the hook that easy. He didn't just make a little silly oopsie whoopsie mistake. He literally stole his friend's Pokemon and then tried to sell it illegally on the black market for his own benefit. That is actually horrendous, dude. That's like unforgivable. It would be like stealing your friend's pet dog while they're sleeping and then trying to trade it in at GameStop for the new Nintendo Switch 2. I genuinely can't believe Ryu did that. That's so incredibly villainous. So immediately after, Uruto then arrives and demands his Dusk Ball back, but the two explorers recognize him as a Horizon Volt Tackler. They send out their Darmanitans and power him up with strong spheres, and then the Darmanitans begin attacking in an absolute frenzy. But Sableye on the other hand is being commanded by Uruto, so it dodges and hits him hard and finds ways to counter their attacks. It's so clear that Pokemon powered by strong spheres just don't have the skill that Pokemon powered by trainers do. But even with that in mind, it's still a 2v1 battle, and 2v1 battles are unfair. They'd be hard for any Pokemon to deal with. So Sableye does begin getting overwhelmed, taking a lot of hits. Ryu is starting to panic at this point, feeling upset and guilty for what he did, so Grafaiai leaps in to help Uruto. But that's super short-lived because the little guy is defeated immediately, and then Ryu begins crying and admitting he was in the wrong, saying he just wanted to help his Pokemon make more art so the world could admire it or whatever. And once again, that's lovely and all, but you literally stole Uruto's Pokemon and tried to sell it, dude. I respect that you know you messed up, but I have zero respect for the fact that you did it in the first place. Like I said, if you're a good person, you would never even think of doing that. But hopefully, because he's still a kid, maybe he can learn from this and, I don't know, become a better person. Uruto then Mega Evolves his Sableye, ready to give it everything they have, and Mega Sableye is putting in the work, and Uruto begins a big speech, and interestingly, Uruto's Dusk Ball inside Indian Rubella's pocket, it hears Uruto's resolve to fight with everything he has. And then, just as Sableye is defeated, the Dusk Ball opens itself and unleashes a powerful Dragonite. Dude! Dragonite stands tall and powerfully, and then it immediately uses Dragon Rush to defeat one Darmanitan, then Hyper Beam to defeat the other. What an absolute powerhouse! But then Dragonite immediately returns itself to its Dusk Ball, leaving Uruto in absolute shock and disbelief. The episode then ended with Uruto chasing the explorers and trying to stop them from escaping. But that is not the end of my spieling, dude, because the amount I have to say about this episode and about Dragonite, well, that's endless. So, there we have it. After a few months, the mystery is finally over. The Pokemon hiding in Uruto's Dusk Ball, the Pokemon he dreams of proving himself to, it's, well, a Dragonite. Oh boy. This reveal has kicked up quite the storm in the community, dude. Some people thought it was incredible and so hype and so exciting, but for other people, the reveal kinda fell a bit flat. And for me, I agree with the latter. Before you get angry in the comments, hear me out, okay? I want to make one thing in particular absolutely clear before I continue talking. I love Dragonite. It's easily my second favourite pseudo-legendary Pokemon behind Goodra, and literally the first Pokemon episode that I ever watched, the one that made me obsessed with this franchise. That was the Mystery at the Lighthouse episode with the giant Dragonite. That's still my favourite episode of the whole anime. So let it be known that I do not have a problem with Dragonite at all. I love Dragonite. But what I do have a problem with, unfortunately, is the anime constantly retreading the same things we've already seen in the past over and over and over and over. You guys know I love Pokémon Horizons. I'm willing to trust this show and these writers with anything they do because they're wonderful. So I will remain hopeful that this whole Dragonite thing will work out for the best, but I can't lie and say that I'm not disappointed by the reveal. I think the thing is, Dragonite is just one of those Pokemon that always seems to be in the spotlight lately, to a bit of a tiring degree now. Dragonite was one of Ash's main Pokemon in Pokemon Journeys just a couple of years ago. We had 3 major Dragonites in the most recent tournament arc. We had a whole anime spin-off about a Dragonite earlier in the year, and we've already had a whole difficult, disobedient Dragonite arc with Iris's Dragonite in Black and White. So yeah, today's big reveal that we've all been hyped up for so long ending up being, look, Dragonite number 52. I don't know, that's just a bit of a meh reveal to me personally. I know they probably want to show off the newly revealed Mega Dragonite, but literally any other Mega Pokemon would have felt more refreshing and more unique. Whether it was an older Mega Pokemon that didn't get much screen time, or another new Mega Pokemon in Legends ZA that hasn't been revealed yet. There's just so many Pokemon out there that never get screen time or focus or the spotlight, and I wish they got a chance rather than another Dragonite in the anime. I'm sure all of you guys know me by now, so you'll definitely know that it really does hurt me to be negative about Horizons. I love this series beyond words can describe, dude, but I also don't want to fake hype for something that I'm not really feeling, you know? I'd rather be honest and truthful to you guys about my feelings. I'm really hoping the writers prove me wrong and make me love the Dragonite decision, but right now I'm just too worried that it could turn into another Roy's Lucario situation. I guess only time will tell. All I know is, with a Pikachu, Charizard, a Lucario and Dragonite all in the main cast, I'm definitely getting a bit of deja vu to the Ash days. Who's gonna be next, an Eevee or a Gengar? I'm just kidding. It's totally cool if all of you guys don't have a problem with Dragonite, if the reveal was hype for all of you, but for me I just found it a tiny bit exhausting, you know? I will say though that I do appreciate the parallel they're setting up between Roy and Uruto. Roy had an ancient Pokeball with a mysterious dragon inside that he wanted to earn the respect of, and now Uruto has a Dusk Ball with a mysterious dragon inside that he's trying to earn the respect of. Uruto and Dragonite are a perfect mirror image of Roy and Rayquaza when Roy was younger, and I really hope the show leans into that and explores that dynamic. That could be really interesting. And hey, if it somehow leads to the Unova champion Iris returning to help Uruto with Dragonite, then I will absolutely take back every bad word I've ever said. I just want Iris back, dude. Outside of all of the Dragonite stuff though, I enjoyed seeing more of Uruto's character in this episode, and I really love the arc they're setting up with the disagreement between Roy and Uruto, and how they're going to rekindle and reconciliate. I feel like it's really going to flesh out their bond more than ever, and that makes me happy. So let me know your thoughts on the episode below, and feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, that'd really help me out a lot, dude. Join our Discord server or become a channel member using the links in the description, and thank you so much to my awesome current channel members for all the support. Hope, Not Minnie, Melissa, Blazing Shots, Kadia, Shiny Charm, Toten, Lukestrom, Dowpals, Jay. You guys are absolute legends. So on that note, thank you all so much for watching, and best wishes until we meet again.